And welcome back to The Buzz with Bernadette. Of course, today we are going to do a recap on MAFS, Married at First Sight. Over the weekend, we had the commitment ceremony in which, of course, Tim and Katie left. To be honest, I was quite surprised that Tim even showed up to the commitment ceremony. Welcome to The Buzz with Bernadette, your VIP pass to exclusive chats with entertainers, the juiciest pop culture moments, and all the gossip worth talking about. Coming to you from sunny Perth, let's dive into the stories that have everyone talking. Didn't think he'd be able to face everyone, and I didn't think he would think that we would believe all his bullshit stories, like that they would fly with us. And the rest of the cast, I'm a little bit gobsmacked about that, but anyway, so subsequently they have left. Then that takes us to Intimacy Week, which was Monday night, last night. Interesting episode because it's going to be a great episode for the couples who are, gelling well with each other, getting on well, the couples that have that connection, and for the couples that are finding it a little bit tricky or that might be still in the friend zone, it's quite an awkward week for them. So anyway, this Intimacy Week, we're going to start off with the ladies. They're calling all the shots, and then I do believe that possibly tonight we'll be going to the men, and we might be flipping the switch and seeing what they've got up their sleeves. Now, there's a lot of focus on Jacqui in this particular episode and how she is constantly focused on compliments. She's making such a big deal about the compliments that it's actually getting quite awkward. It's like very one-dimensional. Are you just looking for compliments from a guy and that is it? Because anybody can give you that, but there's no point giving it if it's fake. So there's a lot of focus on that. The episode starts off, however, with Morena saying that she didn't like to being called Signora by Paul, as he said good night to her the previous night. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I guess it's the equivalent of being probably called ma'am over here, or but it's kind of like saying Mrs. It's look, we know that she's not a lady in her 20s, like we know that, but I guess I don't know. I think she's got something against Paul, to be honest. Like she's just got a bit of a thing, like why he sort of is a little bit dismissive with her, and he's probably not even in his mind. He's probably just being like really polite to her and stuff, but in her mind she took offense to that a little bit. I was looking at Morena's social media the other day, actually, her stories, and she looked like she was at a pride sort of like event, and there's a couple I read her stories and it said, look, that she was really unhappy with the edits that she got, and they've done a few voiceovers on her, like when she's appearing on TV, they're actually putting her voice overlaying it, and it's not actually what she was saying at the time, which I completely believe, and I can actually see those things happening. A lot of the time they won't show you the person's face and they'll overlay some comment that they probably said in the course of the 6 or 8 week period, and they just put it in where it suits them and the storyline, which is quite hilarious. But anyway, what I did notice about some of Morena's stories is like there was some people that came up to say, oh my God, hi, we love you, da-da-da, but it all looked quite staged. Like it looked like it was like, when you get someone to film for you and you go, okay, go. And then the girls ran up and they were like, oh my God, Morena, we love you. So whether that was staged or not, it just looked a little bit awkward and stuff. But anyway, I like Morena, like her. She's a lovely lady. Yeah, but very interesting when they get to Intimacy Week. Tony looks so uncomfortable. Like you can tell Tony's just not into her. He's so nervous, but I love what she does to him when it's her turn to call the shots. And then, okay, so we start off with Ashley and Jake. Jake said some, really crappy comments about all the other women in the show. And My take on Jake, apart from the fact I think he's extremely immature, and yet he said some stupid comments, racist comments, like ridiculous. I feel like because of his immaturity, possibly he may have been trying to impress Ashley by going, I don't find her that good looking. Oh, she's got a lazy eye. She looks like she'd wake up and kill you in your sleep, blah, blah, blah. I feel like he was trying to make Ashley feel more comfortable, but it just completely backfired. He was just an absolute fool. And then when it came down to it, and Ashley sort of shared it with her friend, shared the knowledge with her friend and the rest of the cast, he couldn't take it. He's like, oh my God, you have ruined my trust in you. Instead of just facing it and growing as a person, which is why you're all here on the experiment, growing as a person and just going, you know what? I am so sorry, everybody. This is what I meant. I was trying to actually, in a weird way, give my girlfriend a compliment and everything, but it just backfired on me. And you know what? If he was trying to do that, that would have been great if he would have then put Ashley at number one in the lineup of the photos and said, you know what? I don't care about all these others and you're my number one. And that would have turned out beautifully. And maybe we could have worked with all those stupid comments that he made. But we can't, because then he ended up putting Ashley third or fourth. And he goes, I don't usually date someone that looks like that. And I just thought, mate, have you got a mirror? I mean, I am not one to be mean like that. But if he's going to throw shade, I mean, you've got to throw it back. Anyway, so they left and I really felt bad because Ashley then had to leave as well. She was just really starting to come out, her character, she was starting to develop in the whole storyline, and I was really enjoying watching her. But yeah, so she had to leave too, which is a real bummer. So they've had quite a few people leave pretty prematurely, so I am hoping that there'll be some new people coming along. Then we move on to the brides and the intimacy workshop that they do with Alessandra. And so it's quite interesting because Morena actually she really divulges a lot about her relationship. Tony's asleep by 5. And I think to myself, look, Tony's got nothing else to do. He's on a TV show. If he really was attracted to Morena, etc., I would think that he would want to, actually make an effort and go out on dates with her or get to know her more. But I think sleep is a way for him to just escape. That's the word. It's a way for him to escape from Morena. I would not feel comfortable. I would actually feel like if that was happening to me, I would just go, do you know what? If you're not feeling anything, do you just want to call it quits? Because I don't know, I just don't think I could go on. Give her 10 points for trying anyway. She's trying to keep going with him. I think she's still living in a bit of a place where, we think we could work it out. So when my partner watches maths with me, and when she said Tony falls asleep by 5, my partner was he looked at me because he sleeps constantly, and he goes, see, you don't have it that bad, because he falls asleep at about 7 on a good night. Admittedly, he's up very early every morning, so can't diss him for that. Anyway, so Morena said Tony sleeps on the couch, and I felt really sad for her because, she looked so lonely. She goes, it's been 7 years since I've had someone in my bedroom, and she goes, and every night just lay there looking up at the stars, and I just think, just find me someone, and I just felt so sad for her that she is so lonely. And yeah, nobody should have to feel that lonely. It's terrible. Yeah, and as I said before, so then we go back to Jacqui. It's all about compliments. As soon as she gets a chance to talk in their workshop, she's just I just want someone to tell me that I'm beautiful, I'm pretty, I've got long hair, I've got this, I've got that. And it's you claim to be so educated, but yet you're so shallow. Like, yeah, we all like compliments. I will never knock one back, but it's not the first thing I want to hear from a partner or a person. I'd rather they say, "Oh my God, you're so kind," or "Oh my gosh, I love the way you do this or cook that." I can't, like, a surface level compliment really doesn't mean anything. Anyone could give it. Anyway, now then we move to Ree and Jeff. They don't really get a lot of airtime, like they're just cruising along. They're not making waves at this point. So from what I can see at this stage, they're fighting not being put in the friend zone. Like, because they've dated before and then they just sort of like slipped away from each other and just left it at that. She said a couple of episodes ago, Ree, that she felt robbed of the opportunity to meet a stranger and discover what that would be like from scratch. But I mean, they seem to be quite similar. So like, when she decided to plan her intimate night with him, she just kept it quite mundane. They just did Japanese food. She said, "Yep, look, I'm very vanilla," and yeah, she was. They just did a dinner of Japanese, and then they wanted to recreate their wedding dance. And when he walked in, he was like wrapped to the back teeth because of that. He was like, "This is my idea of a great night." So in that way, I actually think they're really well suited because, if she was doing that and he was expecting, fireworks and stuff, then it just wouldn't have worked out. So then now I just want to talk about Sierra, because when she was in the workshop, she was saying she's a bit afraid that they could just have turned into mates now. She goes like, I mean, I'm really attracted to him, but I just feel like we might just be mates. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so she said she's walking around naked in the house and he's kind of like going like, a bit shocked, but she wants him to take the lead. She wants him to notice her. I was a little bit skeptical about where Billy's thoughts were, but then when I watched it again, I heard him say, like we all have our own like levels of, how fast we move in situations, and that he is quite a slow burn. I missed that the first time I watched it, and I was like, yeah, fair enough. Because I was thinking, what guy does not want to look at a naked girl? But then again, maybe she is doing all that stuff way too soon for his liking. So, so maybe he just needs a bit more time to process. Maybe in 2 or 3 weeks down the track, he will be everything she wants if she can wait that long. I don't know. So, so it's up to the girls to create their perfect date, and it's going to be all about them. So the focus is all about them. Whatever they want to organize, the guy has to sort of like go ahead with it. So of course the younger girls go straight to the lingerie stores and they go shopping. Everyone brings sort of like their bestie with them, and yeah, they have so much fun shopping for lingerie. On the other hand, Morena gets home. She goes back to Tony in the apartment and he's cleaning the table, like, and you see him cleaning this table with a paper towel, and I'm thinking, my God, that's so good. Like, and that's what I do. Like when I get nervous or when I get angry or when I get like, I need to expel that energy, and I will just start cleaning. Even if nothing needs, I just will start cleaning. And I felt like that's what Tony was doing. He was like nervous and probably thinking of what's coming ahead, and like he's like, oh my God, I'm just going to clean up while I'm here. Anyway, so she walks in, adds fuel to the fire, and she goes, oh well, it's very sexy watching a man clean. And Tony literally starts sweating, like beads of sweat on his forehead, and he's like, can we turn the aircon on in here, like please, it's a little bit hot. And he's not doing that out of like, oh yeah, like, oh, it's a bit hot. Like he's doing that out of like, Pepe Le Pew, get me out of here. I don't want to be here anymore. Like, anyway. And, but I do love how Morena is having fun with this situation instead of just like going, oh my God, you never want to do anything with me. Like she's kind of like just playing on it, which I really like. And I do feel like she let Tony off lightly for the intimacy evening that they had because she organised sort of like a paint and sip. Now, I did think at some stage she was going to take her robe off, but she didn't. So she sat there with her robe and showing her cleavage and everything. But of course, Tony didn't know what to expect at that stage. So he got in, he starts sculling this glass of red wine, like literally sculling. He drank the red wine in the first like 5 minutes. And then he goes to scull the water. And she's like, no, that's for the paintbrushes, which I had a heart attack because I was like, can you imagine if that was actually like a little glass of like metho or something for the paintbrushes? Oh my God. And he just went and sculled it. And he was like, okay, it's all right. I'll be all right. And I'm thinking, Tony, relax. Like, she is just getting you to paint her. That is all. Like, it's okay. But I think because she was like toying with him earlier in the day, he just didn't know how to take it. But anyway, so they had sort of like a paint and sip session. It was a good chance for them to bond, good chance for them to talk. He didn't do too bad a job for someone who's probably never painted. And yeah, they had a nice little thing. He kissed her on the cheek at the end. My partner goes, why couldn't he just kiss her on the lips? I was like, I don't know. I just don't know. He's really like distance from her. So then we, of course, have the couples like Paul and Karina. They look really sexually compatible. Athena and Adrian, sexually compatible, I'm going to say. I'm not going to say that they're compatible for the long haul, but we'll see about that. Adrian, of course, had to throw in there like, I think board games are cringe. Well, of course you would think board games are cringe because, I just can't see him having the patience to play a board game. But anyway, now my favourite reaction was when Jamie walked in to the apartment. She's wearing red lingerie and she takes off that suit jacket that she was wearing for the entire whole episode. And she takes it off and she's got her red lingerie underneath and her man just picks her up and tells the camera crew, okay, get out, boys, get out. Like, that is the reaction that you want your man to have, like, every day when he gets home, basically. So far, so good. They're doing pretty well. So Billy and Sierra, we're going to go back to them. Their intimacy night. Gosh, I was so angry. I was so uncomfortable. I feel so sorry for Sierra. Like, I reckon she's an absolutely beautiful. I reckon she's probably the prettiest girl on the show. But what a shit show. I'm sorry. Their intimacy night really pissed me off. The poor girl is so attracted to him, and I don't see why. And he's just running for the hills. She's, to paint the picture, like she's sitting so sexy on this chair. The bathrobe is down her back. She's got a completely bare back, like a black G-string on, and she's got the oil there waiting to be massaged, because she did say to him, the first part of this is going to be about me and then we'll move on to, it being about you. So anyway, she goes, you can pick that up and you can oil me and massage me. And he picks up the oil and he literally squirts it onto her back like he's about to wash a car. Like, my gosh, I could not believe it. He just couldn't have done any worse if he tried. And he was laughing. The laughter was just like, it was such nervous laughter, I think. But it was like, we don't want to hear laughter in the bedroom, especially not when she's gone to all the trouble and effort. The candles are lit. She's got lingerie. She's got dressed. She's set the scene. And you just go and squirt oil on her back and then you start slapping her back and rubbing it like you're wax on, wax offing, like really, really fast. And he's just laughing. Like, and I'm just watching it going mortified. And I'm thinking, has he ever touched a girl before? It's so bad. And then he got it in her hair too, which I'm sorry, that for me is like, if you ever know a girl, you will know we just do not want to get oil in our hair. Just do the job, do it well. Thank you. End of story. I can't. Okay, I'm going to finish off with Jacqui and Ryan. Now, Jacqui had to bring Ryan to the lingerie store, just to give him another opportunity to possibly realize that he was wrong and that she is the most beautiful girl in the world and that he can pay her some compliments while she's trying the lingerie on. Now, number one, look, most guys don't like shopping. I know there are guys out there that do. Most guys don't like shopping, so you've already probably got him on the back foot there. But she thought it would be great for her probably. And I feel like the more she tries to force him to say something, do something, the more he's not going to do it. He's got that personality trait, and you know when you meet someone like that, that's just who they are, and they're not going to do it. You're never going to win. So anyway, she tries on all these outfits and he's just like, starts saying silly things like, she goes, you know, doesn't it look good? Like, or don't I look good? And he will just say things like, yeah, wow, yummy. It's a snacks. Oh, I feel like some snacks. And he's saying all that stuff because he doesn't want to actually go, you are beautiful. Wow, you look hot. She's not giving him the space to do that. She needs to just back off and give him some space. And even if she's in the habit of saying those things to people, say like, don't you think this is beautiful lingerie? Don't you think this is a nice shirt? Don't bring it back to her. Bring it back to the item or something just to wean herself off constantly wanting compliments. She must be exhausting to be around. Okay, so then they go back home. She has intimacy evening. I don't really know what she had planned because really it just shows you them sitting there on the couch. She's laying there in her red lingerie and she just keeps pushing and pushing and pushing for compliments. It means more to her than anything. And, you know, if anything, I think she really just needs to work on herself and not be so needy with the compliments. And Ryan basically says, look, I'm not going to lie. That would be a lie. If you want me to tell you you're the most beautiful girl, that would be a lie. And she goes, yeah, but it's just a challenge. Why can't you just say it? And he goes, yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Like, he basically just, I'm not going to do it. If she thinks I'm that guy that's going to respond to demands, then she's got another thing coming. So I think if she thinks, you know, she claims to be that really, really intelligent girl with a high IQ. She's very well read. She's studied multiple bloody things at uni. And so if she's that kind of girl, she should be able to read his personality and adapt, you know, just so they can just get along, build a bond slowly, and then move forward instead of just going straight for the jugular with him. And then she goes, you know, happy wife, happy life. And he goes, I hate that saying. I hate that saying. Do not say that. And she's just like, oh my God. Like, so I can't see them. I can't see them getting along. But I am excited. I think that they possibly we'll have a few more couples coming in, and I don't know, hopefully there will be some. I would love it if they brought Katie back, to be honest. I would love it if they brought Ashley back. It'd be good if they brought someone in from someone's past. That would also be good. But I am going to leave you with something from Jacqui. There was a social media post where she's written stuff. I can actually probably show you. So this is it here. Okay. So I'm going to read you this social media post. And it says, hi, my lovelies. I agree. My character makes no sense, and that's not my fault. Blame the editors. More than happy to spill the tea so you can get to know the real me and my story. I signed up for an unfiltered, raw, real marriage experiment, also known as a documentary. I'm fully in this for a life partner, taking it seriously, but having heaps of fun, laughter, and playing up for the camera a tiny bit. You've been fed a highly edited fictional storyline, and I feel like you deserve to know the truth. I can't sit back and support misleading and deceptive stories. To start with, I love all of humanity. We are all equal. I have a thing for men with a high EQ/IQ. Yes, brain. Not interested in looks at all. We are all going to be wrinkly in our fees anyway. I love all dogs and I'm deeply insecure, hence why I need constant compliments. But hey, don't we all deserve that? I'm ready to settle down, have babies, 4 to 5, and I am currently in a relationship with a person who was exactly what I asked for. Someone kind, considerate, a great man, and intelligent. Sometimes miracles happen because today I'm in fact happy and in a loving long-term relationship. Lots of love, Jacqui. So there you go. It seems that she is happy and in another relationship. Of course, we know what it means. We know what it means for this season, but who knows how long they'll last? Who knows if they leave tonight? Who knows? Anyway, that's enough maths chat for the time being. We will catch up next time. I'm thinking in my next episode, I want to recap on the Anna Paul scandal that seems to have fizzled out. She's had one of the guys that I actually interviewed before, Scott Taylor, who is a body language specialist, has now dissected her and Michaela's videos, and he doesn't know anything about these girls. Obviously, that's not his thing. He doesn't follow any of them, but he dissects their mannerisms, their behaviors, and the way they speak on camera about each other, and gives you his opinion. So I wouldn't mind going through that next time. And until then, I will see you guys soon, and I cannot wait for the next dinner party. It is literally the highlight of my week. So until then, we'll catch you next time on The Buzz with Bernadette.